Hello everyone. We have been discussing history of English literature. For the past few classes, we discussed how the development has been taken place in the history of English literature. Today, we are going to talk about the first important period in the history of English literature. So, for the benefit of students, those who are preparing for UGC, NET, JRF, and sets of various states, and at the same time, students, those who are preparing for research common entrance test, for the benefit of them, we are discussing these important issues. And I told you, it's a very brief, few important points we are discussing in this lecture. So here, I told you the first important period, Old English period. So for the benefit or better understanding of students, what we are doing, so we are going to talk about introduction, and at the same time, major literary works of this period, and at the same time main literary features of this age. So these 3 points we are going to discuss in the Old English period. We know that Old English as well as Anglo-Saxon period. We know historical division, it is between 450 to 1066. So the first age is, this age started in the 5th century with the Jutes, Angles and Saxons came to England from Germany, defeated the English tribes and started their reign. It ended in 1066 with the Norman conquest. So that is the historical important point of Anglo-Saxon period or Old English period. I told you we are going to discuss the important facts which influenced the literature of this period. Or the first period, first important factor is Christianization of the pagan tribes began in England. So that is the first important point we have to understand in Anglo-Saxon period or Old English period. The second important point is 7th century Christians authorities established monasteries where written literature began in the 7th century. It means whatever had existed as literature before, that was oral. Another important point is Alfred the Great, who reigned over England from 1871 to 1901, encouraged education and supervised the completion of Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. So these 3 important facts influenced the writers to write literature. So these are all 3 important factors. The second important point what we wanted to discuss about major literary works of Anglo-Saxon period. We know that Beowulf, the earliest epic in English, was written in this period. The Wanderer, the Seafarer, the Husband's Message, and the Wife's Lament are among the remarkable literary works of the age. The Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, written in this age, is earliest prose of English literature. So these are all few important or major literary works of Anglo-Saxon period. So we know that historical division, and we know that what are the factors influenced the writers to write literature. And another important point, and the last point we have to discuss is here, what are the major literary features of this age that is also important for the students. We know that most of the literary works are anonymous. And another point, paganism dominates the literary spirit of the time, through Christianity is also traceable. We know that all the works which are available in Anglo-Saxon period, we can identify the strong belief in fate is reflected. Even evil is also symbolized by a monstrous. We cannot see, or romantic love is absent in these works. And very important point we have to recognize is towards women, attitude to women is respectable in Anglo-Saxon period. We know all the works, the most of the times we could see sea adventures, savagery, and heroic activities are honored in these works. Use of more metaphors and less similes is the practice of the time. Very importantly, alliteration is used as a cheap ornamental device and all alliterative syllables are stressed. We know these are all works most of the writers has used kinnings. It means compound words instead of single words. For example, loaf giver is known for used for king, life house used for body, soul destroyer used for monster, whale road used for sea. These are all we know that compound words are used most of the writers. Verse lines do not have equal number of syllables. That is also we have to identify. Syllables in one line vary from 6 to 14 is also we can see in these tracks. So most of the time end rhythm is ignored. So these are all important literary features of the writings of Anglo-Saxon period. We know those who are preparing for competitive exams, particularly JRF, NET, or state eligibility tests of different states, and students who are wanted to appear for English admissions entrance test or common entrance test conducted by the CU2 Central University Common Entrance Test are also useful for this particular Anglo-Saxon period. Thank you. Thank you very much.